Clerk tells me it's time, so we will call this meeting to order. This is the commission workshop of the City of Callaway Board of Commissioners. It is Friday, January 9th, 2026. It's 2 p.m. If y'all would stand with me, Commissioner Pelletier will do the invocation. Commissioner Birdsell, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Lord, we thank you for allowing us to come together today as the sun rises over our city to begin 2026. We pause to express gratitude for the growth and prosperity seen throughout 2025, and we ask for a spirit of unity to be present in this chamber. Help us work in harmony for common goals. We thank you for the blessing of our first responders who are dedicated for the safety of our community, and ask that you keep them safe and let them go home at the end of their shift. We thank you for our citizens and employees who make Callaway a great place to be, and we pray you bless them with peace and success. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Clerk, please do a roll call.
Commissioner Birdsell.
Present.
Commissioner Griggs.
Present.
Commissioner Pelletier.
Here.
Commissioner Ayers.
Here.
And Mayor Henderson.
Here. Okay, we will do public participation. Since we have such a small group, we may kind of play it by ear and see if we're a little bit more lenient on public participation since it's such a large document. And like I said, we have so few people, we just have to not go too far. We don't want to be here till 9 o'clock tonight, so. I mean, if that's all right with the rest of the commission, to be a little more flexible in our public participation.
I like it.
Okay, so we'll go on to our one item, 2045 Comprehensive Plan Update. How are we going to handle this?
Mr. Fry. Mr. Greer. Mr. Greer.
Good afternoon and happy Friday. I am Ray Greer. My address is 2910 Kerry Forge Parkway, Tallahassee, Florida. So what we have in front of you, that monster little document you have, is the update to your comprehensive plan. Your comprehensive plan is required by statute 163, Florida Statutes 163. And Florida Statutes 163 sets the parameters of what will be in the comprehensive plan. From day one, the city adopted the original comp plan back in the early 90s when the Growth Management Act established the comprehensive planning part. And then in Chapter 163, they have a mechanism to update the comp plan. So they're required to be updated. It's called the Valuation Appraisal Report. And that comes out every 7 years. And it's a revolving schedule that the state maintains, and they send letters out to the local governments. And so what the intent is to have a local government update their comp plans basically every 10 years. It starts at 7, the census data is done over 10, by the time you actually do the report, and then do the evaluation report, and then update the comp plan at 10 years. But, so that is where we're at. I mean, you had a planning horizon of your previous comp plan, the comp plan you currently have today, it has a planning horizon of 2025. And that planning horizon is where you plan out to. That's how far you plan out to. The state requires, back when we updated the comp plan in 2008, 2009, to establish that comp plan, they required a 10-year plan horizon. So we had to have a minimum of 10 years. We brought the plan out to 2025. Back in, I think it was around 2010, we adopted it. And then the Valuation Appraisal Report, the statute had changed several times. Valuation Appraisal Report, it came due again in about 18. We made some changes, but did not have to do a complete comp plan update, so it remained the 2025 date. Well, here recently, we're back to the 7 years in 2024, or it was actually 2023 when the letters came out, and the city, basically said you'll have to update the comp plan and meet the new plan horizon. Well, in 2024, the state changed the plan horizon to a minimum of 20 years. So now you have to plan 20 years. And on top of it, your plan expired, of course, in December 31st of 2025. So this is the reason we updated the comp plan. And one of the things that we did, I'm just going to give you a history of why we're here. Not only is your planning horizon expired, but when we did the Tyndall Joint Land Use Study, the Comparable Use Plan, back in '22, we knew your comp plan was expiring. And we had several local governments in Bay County that are in close proximity to Tyndall that the comp plans were going to expire. And so through the Joint Land Use Study, some of the recommendations that we made was for the city of Callaway to update their comprehensive plan. And by putting it in the recommendations and then getting it approved, the county applied the Department of Defense on the implementation portions of the Joint Land Use Study after we finished it. Then we brought it to y'all in '22. Y'all accepted the Joint Land Use Study. The county got funding for it. So they got funding from the Department of Defense to update City of Callaway's comprehensive plan. They in exchange gave the money to the city, to update the comprehensive plan. And as part of that, and I'll get into this as we go through this, but as part of the updates, one of the things that we were going to do was include in the update, not only expand your plan horizon, because that benefits Tyndall and everybody in the city to maintain the plan horizon and have a comprehensive plan that's looking forward, but also to incorporate overlay districts that would help protect not only Tyndall Air Force Base, but also the citizens of Callaway. And those overlay districts have been written, and they're not part of your package that you have, and I'll go into that in a minute of why they're not. But they are done, and they will. I didn't want to give them to you today since we can't move forward on them right now, but we will bring them back and adopt them at a later date, and I'll get into that in a minute. So what we did basically was update your comprehensive plan. We went through, updated the data analysis. The data analysis is the back of the comp plan, that PDF you have towards the back. That's required. That does not get adopted, but it's required to go with your comprehensive plan for the update, and it has to go to the state for review, but it does not get adopted. And then what we did was we went through your comprehensive plan, and I do comprehensive plan updates all over the state of Florida, and we do them the same way. Basically, we take a comp plan, we go through it, we have an Excel spreadsheet with all the requirements of Chapter 163, and we compare them. And we want to do, in doing this update, we want to make sure that you have your policies that meet the requirements of 163. We also want to make sure that we get rid of policies that do not meet the requirements no more, or there's something that's not wanted by the city, that's not required. We get rid of them and then update dates and different stuff that's in the comp plan to bring it current. And then we evaluate where you're at with water, sewer, and that's in the data analysis part. Water, sewer, future growth, population increases through that. Now we're not 10 years, we're actually looking out 20 years. So your new plan horizon will be 2045. And so all that is in the data analysis, and then the comp plan is actually based on that. So that will carry you to 2045 with regular updates. I mean, you're going to have, like I mentioned, every 10 years, you'll have some updates that's really based on changes in the statute that will occur, but you will have a comp plan that will go out to 2045. So that is the update as it is. Now, in doing this, and we've got several of these local governments here in Bay County that we're doing this with, including the county themselves. In doing the overlay districts, one of the things happened, and into updating your comp plan, and it went to effect in July. It is Senate Bill 180, and it's the Hurricane Disaster Relief Bill. And I don't know how many of y'all have heard about it, or you may have heard about it, but it's tied to Arlene, Hameen, and I think Debbie, the hurricanes, the three hurricanes that went through in 2023, 2024 period. And, in this part of the state, we really didn't get affected, but all the counties were included in the emergency declaration of those hurricanes, those three hurricanes. Well, that bill actually was brought and then passed. It was House bill, went to Senate bill, now it actually went to effect in July, and now it's the laws of Florida, 2025, Chapter 190. And what it states is that a local government, and this is affecting local governments across the state, a local government cannot adopt any regulations in their comp plan or the land development regulations that are more stringent than what's currently in there. So we can't increase anything or add something that's more stringent than what's in your current comp plan. So yes, that kind of handicaps you when you're updating a comp plan, because, of course, there's stuff like the overlay districts. We want to make sure your comp plan is consistent with your land development regulations. And if it's not, we want to bring in like height, where you have height requirements in your LDRs. We added them to the comp plan, but giving some of the recent way the state has been implementing Senate Bill 180, they're literally throwing the comp plans out. And so what happens is, the way the statute, and that, I'll be glad, I've got it right here, I'd be glad to give you all copies of it and let you read it, but the way it's written, it just goes void. So if they find something that's more restrictive, they just void the whole entire comp plan. And it kicks it right back. And it's created a problem. There's several local governments that have filed lawsuits against the state. There's legislators that have proposing bills to get North Florida out of it, or to get, majority of the impacts occurred in Orlando, across the center part of the state. So there is legislation proposed. Now, that Senate Bill 180 stays into effect until 2028, and then it expires. Now, if the legislators this session are successful getting some of these bills passed, it will more likely take parts of North Florida and all the way to the east coast to the west coast of North Florida out of that. Now, as you know, it still won't go into effect until probably July of next year. I mean, if it gets passed in this upcoming legislative session. So it could be a while till we're having to deal with it. So we've had to hold off. We got the overlay districts prepared, but we're holding them off until we get past this Senate Bill 180 issue, because we've already had several comp plans. I mean, just literally deemed void over nothing but like increasing the level of service for potable water based on actual data. I mean, it's something that simple. They're throwing the comp plans out. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we've got your comp plan where we can at least get the plan revised and updated. We can get the plan, across, get it approved. And so we have had to, and I actually went back through and identified a couple other areas that I want to change, and I'll be glad to discuss. They're very minor stuff. There's a couple policies that I'm concerned about that I think is going to trigger 180, even though we thought we were good, but given what some of the other plans that have been reviewed by the state and deemed void, I want to make sure that we get that cleaned up. So when we do bring this in front of you, I think it's next Tuesday, there's a couple policies in there that I do want to adjust some. But we can talk about that today. And then having said all that, we have updated your comp plan, and there's a lot of chapters in your comp plan, and probably a lot of questions, and I'll be glad to go through it however you want to do it. If we want to go element by element, if you want to go questions, however you want to do it, I'd be glad to do it and address the changes that we have made and why they were made.
I mean, would it be, to me, it seems to make sense maybe to go element by element, and then if you have questions in that particular element, go ahead and get those out of the way and then move on to the next one.
Yes.
And that way, we should be able to give our citizens an opportunity, maybe after each element, we can do the 3-minute thing.
Sure.
So that you have more opportunities to speak.
So the future land use element's the first element in the comprehensive plan.
I have a question before you
Yes.
start. On your table of contents, we spelled the page number wrong.
Yes.
And then also, like, every section has 1 through 11 there. Is there a reason that each section isn't labeled as such to make it easier to find, especially if this is a PDF, like, there's a 1.1 in every section instead of there would be an 8.1 to make it easier to follow?
Yeah, that's the way the comp plan was set up. I mean, we could renumber that if y'all want that. I mean, we can completely renumber your entire comp plan. But you've got to renumber every policy.
I've got a question, and Ray, this goes back to population. and the estimates, going forward on that. Now, what happened to us was the hurricane, and then the census coming after the hurricane, where so many people had moved, or they weren't here, this kind of thing. And looking at what the projection is, seems to be certainly well low for the current.
It is.
And very honestly, in everything that we're doing, and we're faced with the same issues on the TPO, because, money's being allocated based on that data. In any way can we, in going through the documents here, so much of this is based on the population. And very honestly, it's wrong. It's wrong today, it's going to be wrong in 2030, and much less. 2045 is looking like what it actually is going to be in 2030, for example. So it's 15 years, in my view. Now, my view doesn't hold water, So where do we get the bucket to hold the water to get our population right?
So 163 does require that the population data be based on certain criteria, and it has to be based on the census data, different, and Beaver data, that's in the state of Florida that the state actually uses, and the revenue sharing data, which is the Beaver data that comes out every year. Unfortunately, and I agree with you, those numbers, everybody knew it. The hurricane hit in 18, the census was going on, people didn't fill them out, people were displaced. All those numbers, and they're blatantly, you look at them and they're not right. I mean, it is, and it's not, it's every city in the county, in Bay County, is suffering from this problem. But unfortunately, until we actually have data that we can use, like we could update this in the future based on data, but we got to be able to project forward. We got to have data that we can actually justify to project those numbers.
Well, developers are using, here again, they're projecting it. We know that Tyndall, for example, in approximately 5 years, is going to involve 17,000. We're hearing about this today. 17,000 in, not just in service people, but in people from the community and the service people. So that's 17,000 citizens or families potentially, that's involved. We know right now with, very honestly, what you're familiar with, the development right next to us here. Park Place is out since the hurricane. Bridge Harbor is completely built out since the hurricane. We know what's potentially going to be handling further east after a few more approvals here and there. So, and right now, very honestly, based on our utility accounts, we can almost take the utility accounts and extrapolate that we're almost 17,000 people now, where in the documents for 2025, I can pull it up, but I think it was like 14,000 or so. It's 3,000 short right there, and we know that's going to be going up, particularly with what we see in the future. So I don't know what we can do about it, or I'm sitting here running my mouth, where I think it's going to be going.
Oh, no, I agree, but we've got to have justifiable evidence to be able to prove it.
Right.
I don't have enough of it to be able to do it. Not in this document today, no. We can amend this document every year, and as we get information that the state will rely on for us to add it, then, we can change this document. But no, I agree. I mean, it's been an issue. It's an issue with every local government for sure, and we see it.
Okay, and I've got other questions, but if we're gonna do it page by page or item by item, I'll bring them up at that time.
I just have a quick comment. Are we gonna make a decision on renumbering this to make it easier for our citizens, or are we just gonna bypass it and leave it the way it is? Decision, comment was made, none of us have responded to that. It seems to me that everything we do in our city is always difficult for the folks out there. And if this is gonna simplify things, what is the cost of renumbering the entire document?
You want it based on each chapter?
I think that would be the easiest. So, again, I used the number of 8, so everything in 8 would just, whatever number's there, it just starts with an 8, so I can quickly search for 8 dot whatever. And then when we're referencing it, because like I said to the planning board meeting, and they're like, on 1.1, which section of 1.1?
Yeah, it's the element, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just the way your comp plan was set up, we can.
I know it was built that way, but doesn't mean it needs to stay that way.
No, most of them are, I mean,
Yeah.
this is a typical format for a comprehensive plan. They get both ways, I mean, you'll see them, I see them done both ways.
I mean, if we're discussing it, I think it would be easier to
Right.
have it, easier to search.
Right.
I know when we delete things at times, that causes some renumbering, but it doesn't seem like it's overly hard to
No, it's
go
just
into a
going
section
through
and
and just
change a couple of
inserting
numbers.
them.
Now, I want to make sure I'm following what you're saying, like in future land use element, we've got objective 1, of course, let's go to 2. You have objective 1 in the next element. So would you want to go with 2.1, 2.2, 2,
That's what I think would make
For
it
each
easiest.
element, yeah.
but then what happens when you get to the one that's already policy 2.1? I mean, how are we going to number?
The very first number would be 3 dot, and then whatever all those numbers are.
Okay,
Right.
okay. Whatever commission wants to do, I'm fine.
It makes, simplify things when you're looking at searching a PDF file, So, in my mind, question came up and none of us wanted to discuss it, but I wanted to bring that back up. Other than that, I have questions on page 1. I don't know where you want to start, but
Well, do we want to let him, or do you want to just ask a question, or do you want to let him explain anything? I don't, whichever way y'all want to do it.
well,
It's fine with
I
me.
think all of us have gone through all of this, and we all have questions, and I think, in my mind, we should go to our questions instead of him explaining the whole
Okay,
document to us.
well,
In my mind.
okay. Do we want to, do you have questions? I'll go, just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you have questions, Commissioner Birdsell, on page 1?
No.
Commissioner Griggs, page 1?
Page 1, policy of 1.2, item number 2 and 3, actually. And I think you explained that what we're doing is eliminating the densities, the minimum density on these 2 items, and it shows up later on in another item, but
Well, the density is 6.99, we just made it 7 because, I'll be honest with you, I have never seen a comp plan that said 6.99. That is, I don't know who come up with that or why they come up with that.
well,
And it's actually 7, you calculated, it's 7.
yeah, on 2, we're eliminating it, period. We're eliminating the minimum density.
Why?
But there is no minimum density.
Oh,
Low
I see,
density.
beg your pardon. So,
Low density.
okay.
It just kind of all blurred together the way it was written.
Yeah.
6.99 is marked through, it is now 7.
7,
Right.
okay. It does look like 6.997 is all marked through.
Why are we eliminating low densities?
We're not eliminating, we just changed it from 6.99 to 7.
We're just rounding it off.
That number's just being rounded.
Instead of having decimals, we're just
Yeah.
saying, instead of 6.99, we're rounding it off to 7.
But in item number 2, that's the maximum, but when you get to item number 3, it's eliminating the minimum.
That's not how, comp plan doesn't have a minimum density. They don't have a minimum and a maximum. So a comp plan has to have whatever the maximum is. So if you have a minimum, I mean, for instance, like you can implement a minimum in zoning in your LDRs, but you don't implement minimum in a comp plan. It's gonna be whatever it is. You gotta specify the maximum. Those are required by statute.
So you took out
There is no minimum.
the minimum on medium density because anything less than that just falls into low.
Which doesn't make sense.
Right, 'cause
Highway
low already
medium-
covers it.
Yeah. The medium, that would be low.
Right.
I mean, the two categories wouldn't make any sense.
Is that it for page 1, Commissioner Griggs?
Yes,
But do you understand that? I mean, do you have an issue with, do you understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know, from a comp plan standpoint, you have to have the maximum. And then, like your zoning and stuff, it can have a lower, like, if your maximum in medium density is 9 units an acre, you can require 7 units an acre or 5 units an acre in your LDRs if you wanted to. You just can't go above the maximum that's specified in the comp plan, because the comp plan overrides the LDRs.
I'm thinking differently, so I understand it now, understand it for this document. Okay.
Okay, Commissioner Pelletier, page 1.
Same thing, that's fine.
Commissioner Ayers, anything on page 1?
I'm good on page 1, but I have a general organization question. Usually when you write a document, you spell out the acronym the first time, and after that you use the acronym. All through the document, you have the acronyms repeated with the fully spread out
Yeah, I think it's done through the
version.
elements. Yeah.
Can you add an acronym page?
Definition page, acronym page, yes.
Good, and go through and just the first time you spell out like flume, future land use map, just do it one time, and then from then on, you can just use
I
flume.
might have to write this down. I don't forget.
Yes, sir, sorry.
Ray ain't getting out of here that easy.
You need a legend for this document.
Well, I mean, typically, a lot of comp plans will have
It looks really nice.
an acronym or a
The
definition
acronyms are a
page.
pain in the butt. But in the Air Force, what we would do.
Oh, I know,
first
'cause
time,
everything is
spell it out.
acronym.
After that, we had an acronyms page, so you could just refer back if you forgot what the acronym.
Yeah, I do a lot of military planning work, and, yeah, the acronym page is very long in military documents.
Oh, yeah, it's our main job.
Anybody else have anything on page 2?
I just had a quick question. The very last part, data and analysis, that's used for the rest of the document? That isn't part of the document?
Yeah, that does not get adopted.
Gotcha.
So that is, still required by the statute.
Yes, sir.
It used to be, back in the early 90s, that was adopted in your comprehensive plan, and then the state changed that. So that no longer gets adopted, but they require, 163 requires that document to be prepared with the updated comp plan. So it has to go to the state. I put it in the back and put that so,
Good
to
information.
make sure it doesn't get adopted,
Yes, sir.
because we don't want it in the ordinance.
Okay, great. And I guess you've properly numbered the pages I and II over there.
Yeah, and as you know, then when you go through and you make any changes in it, it changes the pages, but then when it all gets done, when it's final, the strike through underline comes out and all the page numbers change again. So, when you got a document, it's kind of
yeah.
fluid. But yeah,
Been there, done that.
yeah.
Okay, sir, that's all I have.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Page 2, page 3?
page 3's got the 6.99, you didn't want to round that off to 7?
And also I want to mention too, on page 2, where we added the height limits, now that is in your LDRs. Well, I'm going to have to take those back out because of the Senate Bill 180. Your height is defined in your LDRs. We
Right.
were trying to just clean it up and make sure it was in your comp plan also. But because of 180, I'm not going to be able to leave those in because they're going to see it looking at the previous document and say this is more restrictive. I know it's a bizarre, that Senate Bill 180 is bizarre what's going on right now with the comp plan updates, and there's comp plan updates going across the entire state, and this is affecting them.
Good,
So without that in there,
No, you have height limits, they're in your LDRs, they're already there.
Yeah.
They weren't in your comp plan, but in one category before, but they're in your LDRs, so we were gonna add them
okay.
to the comp plan also, but they, I mean, they remain in your LDRs.
Ray, page 3, section 1 point, policy 1.7, number 1.
Yeah, the 6.9.
6.99,
And also
does that need to be moved to 7?
Section 1 at the very top.
Very
also,
last
Yeah,
sentence.
up here.
Of 1.6.
Oh, yeah, it's at the top of the page, too.
6.99.
On one,
Page 3.
Oh, yeah.
The very top of the page.
yeah, they're not correct in your document?
No.
Yep, there's 6.99s, two
It's
places.
corrected in several places, but it missed it in the last paragraph, the last sentence of paragraph 1, and then
Is yours
policy
right?
Yeah.
1.7, paragraph 1, last sentence. They both say 6.99.
Oh, yeah, I have fixed those.
Got 'em?
Your staff brought it up, they caught it, we made the change, I thought, y'all had, if your document, maybe it should be dated 12/3/25. Did y'all get a PDF of this? I assume y'all did.
It says November 2025.
Yeah,
So we got a wrong document.
And it's only a couple things, those are two of them, and there's just one more. Yeah, this is
Staff
December.
identified a lot of things that were not significant, but when we went through, it was stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just, it was not anything that's,
Is it gonna be on the agenda, the new one?
Yes,
we'll make sure of it now.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because we're discussing things today that, you guys have added, and we're the ones making decisions, it's not in here.
I understand.
I know that, but, we keep on doing that. It should have been the right document this evening, so we're not saying, well, we've added this and added that, and deleted this and deleted that.
If y'all would like, we can give you the document to review over the weekend, and we can meet back on Monday morning.
It's up to the commission. I'm just saying that we're
I
going
can
through
do
a
it.
document that's been changed.
It's only a few things, and that is, those two things were.
Yeah, I would just point them out as we go through.
yes, if you'll tell us what's been changed.
And make sure we cover them.
Okay. Anything else? Working through future land use elements? You've done 1, 2, page 3, anything 4, 5?
5, I didn't find DU. On the CHHA density reduction parcels, and then DU/acre, what does DU mean?
Dwelling unit.
Dwelling unit, that needs to be spelled out somewhere. I see you do say dwelling unit,
Yeah, this is.
But you don't
this is
say
a
DU
policy that's in
after
the
it.
plan.
so that's policy 1.10, second paragraph, second sentence at the end. Just put DU and that solve it.
Anybody else? Page 5, page 6?
The densities, again, are not rounded on theirs. That's something that we can update. I know it's small things.
Yeah, I'm not sure. These policies were negotiated with the state based on a land use amendment that was done back in this timeframe. We probably can. I'd have to verify that with the state. You know what I'm saying? If you read this policy, this is in there, this was done, these were land use amendments that occurred somewhere, I think, 04 or 05, and they were negotiated with the state. And this, because they were in the high hazard area, and the state has defined policy for them, so they were negotiated out. That's why we didn't mess with these policies. I just left them the way they were, but, I mean, I didn't mind changing them, we can change them. The 6.99, I just left them because they were negotiated through a settlement agreement with the city and the state back in this time frame that apply to certain pieces of property. I know none of y'all were here then, but it's where it came from.
Well, if this is data that's somewhere else, I don't see changing it then. If we're extrapolating it from other state data, leave it as such, that way you can reference it properly.
Well, I mean, the only problem, the only thing I'd be scared of is, and I'll be glad to ask the state, is if, because this was a settlement agreement between, at that time, Department of Community Affairs and the city. If we change it, doesn't matter. To make it consistent with the changes we're doing to the comp plan. Just because these apply to, these still apply to these parcels that carry this.
Well, if those still apply to those parcels, they don't need to be changed.
No,
I know, that's why we left them.
it would seem like the smart thing would be to leave it.
Yes.
If it was part of a settlement,
Yes.
no, there's no way we can change that.
I wouldn't change it, that'd be a red flag of something.
So I have a quick question.
Well, wait,
RLD residential low density and RHD residential high density. They're not, there's no, the acronym's not spelled out earlier, but I can see where it's at. But they don't refer to it as residential low density, they have it low density residential. Should that be switched around? That's on page 1, policy 1.2, paragraph 2 and paragraph 3.
Oh, which page?
Page 1.
1.
Yes, sir. And policy 1.2, paragraph 2 and paragraph 3. And then you could throw the acronym in there next to it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Tuesday is the first reading of this, correct? We have 2 readings, so Tuesday will be the first reading.
yeah, we have, Ray, go ahead and explain, there'll be a first reading, and then after passage of that, it goes to the state.
Yeah, so this is a large-scale land use amendment. It will go, it's been in front of the planning board. It will come to the city commission and it has to be transmitted. So basically, on Tuesday, what you would do, you would vote to transmit. You're not approving it, you're voting to transmit it to the state. It goes to the state and it's reviewed there for 30 days. The state, and this is the Florida Department of Commerce, who is now is the old DCA, the old Department of Community Affairs. They are the planning agency for the state. It goes to them and all the review agencies, which is DOT, Florida Department of Environmental Protection, Water Management District, the Emerald Coast Planning Council, and Florida Department of Education, and also, did I include Water Management District? I think it did. But it goes to all those entities also, and it's reviewed.
But then it comes back to us for a second reading?
Yeah, they will provide comments in that 30 days. They'll send it back to the city, and then it would come back to another commission meeting for adoption, and
No,
then changes.
and that would be with their changes. What,
Or changes if you
okay,
make
I was gonna
changes.
say typically between the first and the second reading, the city can make changes, but I didn't know if it's already gone to all these state agencies and they've approved with their comments. What if we make a change? Does it have to go back through the process?
No, we just have to identify, we just have to let them know what the change was.
Okay.
So we let them know, typically do it in the table, if there's been changes from when it was proposed to the adopted part.
Okay.
So are we on page 6?
I think so. We jumped back to page 1, so.
Yeah, that was, sorry
I
about
think
that.
we are, I mean, we did page 5. Is there anything on page 6?
I have one thing, and it's something that, you know, your spacing element in the document needs a fix, paragraph 5.
Yeah, again, when it goes from
Yeah.
the straight to underline, we'll fix all that, the spacing stuff, because it will throw it off.
Paragraph 1. I think-
What?
Okay, we're up to page 7. Anybody? Eight,
No change.
9,
On 8, quick question, I believe this is a TPO issue, but it was mentioned before in the planning board about bus stop pullouts and stuff like that for the trolleys. That's gonna be a TPO, that is, no matter what we put in here, we would be more restrictive if we said they must have this because it's not gonna be allowed.
It is, and it's a TPO issue. But yeah, I mean, even if the city wanted that in here, we would get caught up in the House Bill 180 by requiring it.
so nothing else on 8, 9,
I do. I have something on 9.
go ahead.
Which also deals with the public school element chapter that was totally deleted. And I listened to the planning board meeting, of course, chapter doesn't require it, well, we don't even have an interlocal agreement with the school system, so why are we taking it out of this? We don't even have an agreement with the school system, period, it doesn't exist.
So in 2005, 163 was amended, required the school element, and with that school element, it required each local government to adopt a school element, adopt school concurrency, and an interlocal agreement with the school board.
Yeah, that's fine and dandy, but we don't have one. It doesn't exist in the city. I've been here 10 years, it's never come in front of me.
I know, but this would have been done in '05 when y'all adopted, I think.
Well,
School
according to our
concurrency
city
is
clerk,
right.
it doesn't exist. Okay. So
I mean, every local government had to adopt them.
if we don't have one, we need to adopt one, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you don't have one, you're required to have one.
Right, I know.
But it should have been adopted.
Yeah, but it's reference.
City manager?
Bill? Ashley?
I looked in everywhere that I could look and could not locate an
Let's contact
agreement with
school.
the school.
Let's contact school district,
Okay.
see what we get.
But if it's not there, we need to set one up.
Yeah, because it was an agreement that was, it's the same agreement for each city, but it was adopted by each city. It was, for City of Callaway, City of Springfield, City of Park, they were all individually but adopted.
And all
at
the same.
time. All the same. It's all the same. And it is required by 163, that interlocal agreement.
We'll contact school district, I'm sure.
Okay? I just want to make sure we cover it.
Yeah, if we can't locate one, we'll
We'll
have
just have
one.
to we'll have to create one.
Yeah. It's the same agreement, then.
It is, it's required under 163,
We'll say re-adopt.
177, and you might, I mean, it's interesting that you can't find it. I mean,
What's it referred to as?
it's an interlocal agreement between the Bay County School Board and the City of Callaway.
What's the name of it?
I don't,
It would
Because we have a
I don't know what
public
the actual
school
name of it is.
facility element in here, but that,
yeah, the school facilities element,
That's all, that whole chapter is deleted.
well, it's not required no more. So in 2011, they took concurrency out of the comp plan for schools. That was removed from the comp plan, so that whole element went away. That element was required in 163 and specified what had to be in there. Now, the interlocal agreement still remains in 163. That is still part of the statute, so basically they deleted the school element, but you had to retain the interlocal agreement.
Right.
So that is still part of it.
and where do we store that?
I know, that's what we're saying, they
That's
can't
what we're
find
looking
it.
for.
They ain't gonna
It's
find
not in the city archives.
Do we need to put it in a comprehensive plan? Or do we
No,
put it
it's
in
not
a-
part of the comp plan, but just having the agreement done is required. It's required that the city has an agreement.
We'll
And
research.
it does the concurrency stuff.
I have no problems with leading it, I'm just saying is that in the archives of our city, there's nothing that exists. And
Which is
if it
interesting.
doesn't exist, we need to create one.
We'll take care of that. We'll contact the school system, see if they have anything on file. If they don't have anything on file, then we'll get it going.
Yeah, I'll look too and see if it was part of if that agreement shows up in part of the package that went to the state when they added the element,
Yeah.
but it should have been done prior to that. But I'll check.
If so, when you find it, can you please pass it on to all of us?
Of course.
Okay, page 9, anything on 10?
got one thing on 10, and that's objective 7, and it's just missing a word in my opinion. And after, on the last part, the last sentence on 7, after shelter, to me, there should be a T-O, if you read that.
No, to exceed adopted standards. Correct?
Correct. It's- It's interesting how we pick up on minor things on this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Y'all probably do that just to see if we read it.
Okay. Page 11 or 12. Nothing? 13?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I've got a question on policy 11.3,
Page 12.
page 12. Application vested permits must be made in the city within 1 year of adoption of this plan.
And that was the original, I mean, that was the intent for the original plan,
Right,
which was back in the 90s. So anything that's vested should have been accounted for by now, so we just removed it. It's still, I mean, it still applies, you know, if it was something that was, it's in the statute written that way. If something is like a subdivision plat, if a subdivision plat was platted in the 70s, it's not, you know, it was done prior to the comp plan, and those development approvals were done. You can't apply the comp plan to them. You know what I'm saying? So they were vested, but these policies were done in the original comp plans to carry them for a year, to the first year, and then you had to have land development regulations in place and all that to carry forth with the comp plan back in the early 90s. I don't know how this policy got left, but I don't mind leaving it either if you want it. Because it doesn't do anything that's not allowed already, that's already provided for. And if you want to leave it, we'll be glad to leave it. It doesn't hurt anything. We just took it out because it really isn't necessary.
leave it.
You mean leave it, delete it, or
Leave it.
put it back in?
Leave it.
Leave it.
Okay.
Understand it. That's, you know, we're questioning understanding what's going on there too. so.
Right. And it just gives us something to refer to back if we need to.
Okay, page 13 or 14.
Nope.
Well, that gets us to the end of the future land use element. So is there anybody in the audience that had any comment or question about the future land use element before we go on? Okay, not seeing anybody, we'll go on to the transportation element. Anybody have anything on 15 or 16? I know there's a lot of red on there.
I have a couple items on 16.
Okay, go
What-
ahead.
The policy on that setback, what did we do away with that? 2.1,
2.1.
why was that eliminated? Setback's always an issue in our city. So why do we eliminate that?
Now, particularly in the overlays.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is actually, you know, a policy that's, should be in your land development regulations.
But is it, that's the problem.
Yeah, I think it,
It is in our land development regulations, on the overlay district, 25 feet back
Right,
for cross parcel access is basically what all that's about.
right.
This refers to setbacks
Right.
for future
Land use.
street or highway.
Yeah, it's just something that's, it's not required to be in the comp plan. If you want to leave it, we'll leave it. It's something that is just not, typically don't see
But
it
I
in the
think it
comp
should
plan.
be in here.
But I'd be glad to leave it, I mean, that's not a problem at all.
I would agree to leave it then.
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll leave it in.
I think it should be in.
Yes.
Anything else on those 2 pages?
I'm trying to read my notes as I go, sorry.
I don't have anything.
Which about the setbacks at the top of the page? 2.1.
I guess there was a question at the planning board too on policy 5.2. But, you know, we're getting the information we want, and it basically talks about use of the data. So,
Yeah, I tried to reword it, because since the sheriff's department is your police force now.
right,
To me, it reads a little weird the way it was worded before.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I don't know, when this policy was originally prepared.
we can always add that in our contract with the sheriff department when it comes out.
We're getting that now and actually
Yeah, we're
using
getting
that information to.
But we're just now getting it this,
Yeah.
this past 4 or 5 months because, I requested it, so.
We're using that to talk to right now, talk to the state related to our highway.
But it's still not doing any good yet.
Yeah,
We keep trying.
It's, our highways have all been approved, or what we're gonna do, they just don't come up with the money. All the money's going to South Florida.
of course.
You're like 22.
The rewrite makes sense to me.
Yes,
The way-
it
Yeah,
does.
that's fine, yeah. I don't have any problems with the rewrite. We're getting the information, that's the big,
That's
the big
right.
thing, yeah.
Okay, 17 or 18?
18 starts new section, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anything on 17?
On 17, just clarification that everything that we're actually scratching, marking through here is actually a function that's now taken up by the TPO. So we just wanted to clarify that.
So did anybody in the audience want to say anything about the transportation element? No one? Okay. So we will go on to the housing element. Page 18. $19 or $20?
19, policy 4.1. My question is who and how, because all this has to be done by 2027. So that's more a question for us rather than Ray, but.
Yeah.
And again, we pushed that date out because if you put that in here, it'll trigger Senate Bill 180. I mean, if we were to add that requirements.
No.
So it's a state requirement.
It is.
So we've had that issue that we've had to deal with over the years.
Yes.
Particularly on Cherry Street. And, so now this is, whether have done this or, I'm not familiar whether we've done it or not. But right now, we've got a date somewhat certain that we have to have
A policy.
the policy done.
And, I mean, if you want, I'll take the date out, if you prefer the day not to be there.
Is the date required by the statute?
No.
So I don't think we should have a date there to restrict us to
That's
come up
right, in
with, come
case
up
we
with
don't
something
have
that
something.
is not required by the statute. I think,
Yes.
we can
Yes.
come up with something, but that's something that staff's gonna have to
Yeah,
work for us.
we don't need a date
Right.
that we don't make, and then we have an issue.
Right.
Yeah, and we can tell you that the dates, we typically, because the state typically want to see if you're gonna, they want to see when you're gonna do it. So you just don't keep pushing it
Yeah.
off. But we can take it off.
Same with paragraph 4.3.
They don't need to know. I doubt that they're gonna catch that.
Yeah, policy 4.1, 4.3, but
We just kind of been able to dance around these issues. So let's keep dancing.
Eventually, we'll have to do the waltz.
Anything else on 19,
No.
20? That's the end of the housing element. So if nobody else had anything, did anybody in the audience have a comment on the housing element? Not seeing anybody. We will go on to recreation and open space element. So anything on 21 or 22?
Policy 1.4, Callaway Men's Club,
Yeah,
Yes.
community center.
Callaway Community Center instead of the men's club.
and that is one of the policies I did change, staff caught
You've
that.
already changed that?
I did
Okay.
change that. And we added Brittany Woods Park.
Good.
And also, just to add on the recreation and open space element, one of the things that did change in the statute, under the requirements of 163, is when they removed school concurrency, they also removed concurrency for recreation and open space. But recreation and open space is one of those things that, you can have optional, if you want to leave the open space, you can leave your level of service, which, I would encourage it, which we did, we left the level of service. I wouldn't encourage taking it out. So developments, still have to meet the level of service for parks, which I know the city, implements that through the
Shouldn't-
LDRs.
Shouldn't we include Gore Park in policy 1.4 because the community center is in Gore Park?
Right.
But that's not all of Gore Park.
So what, the change they gave me was, I took to strike Callaway Men's Club recreational complex and add John B. Gore Park, Brittany Woods Park.
Good.
I added
Yeah,
those.
you've got them in there then, okay.
That covers it.
What about the
All
one
right,
over
scratch
there
that out.
that you built the asphalt walk area around, and it's got a little pond and everything?
Column first.
Column first, should that be in there?
That's a park.
Yeah,
It's a city park?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we maintain.
maintain it.
What is the name of it?
Column first.
COLIN.
FURST.
And you put Brittany Woods on there already, right?
I did. Yeah, that came from staff.
And it's FURST, isn't it?
FURST.
Two L's in column?
I don't know.
I think there's only one, but
I think so too.
Just one up?
I'll look.
Yeah, double check.
It is 2 Ls.
COLLIN.
two L's, okay. Yeah, if you depend on your
FURST.
spelling, you're in trouble.
And that's one word too, by the way.
What's that?
Column first.
It's all,
Oh, it's one
All
more?
one word, COLLIN
Gotcha.
Good catch.
okay. Page 22. Nothing. 23, which is all deleted. pronouncing this element. And did anybody in the audience want to comment on recreation and open space element, Ms. Langston? If you don't mind sharing the microphone for a minute,
Sorry.
Mr. Greer.
I won't hit you or nothing, so you're okay. Teresa Langston, 6031 Lane Street, I don't bite. I just had a question about the policy 2.2 on page 21. It says establish a recreation advisory committee to coordinate public-private recreational opportunities. Do we have an advisory committee
We
or?
did it at one
did, we
time,
did at one
and
time.
they never really did
They never-
anything, so we disbanded it.
Yeah.
So, do we need to take that out, or do we need
I
to?
think we should take it out.
Yeah,
Take it out.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say, because if we're not gonna do one.
yeah, let's,
2.2.
2.2 on
2.2.
page 21.
On page
To
21.
take that policy off?
We,
Yeah,
yeah.
just take that
That
out.
was a board that,
Yeah, they
Never
didn't
showed
really
it,
do
never did,
anything,
yes.
so we just disbanded it, so
Right.
we'll get rid of that one.
Okay.
Thank you, Teresa. Anybody else? Okay, we will
I
move
have
on.
just a quick one, by the bridge, are we gonna count that as a park area?
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet, okay.
Okay, so we'll go on to infrastructure element on page 24. Anybody?
Just a clarification on policy 1.5. I guess I'm familiar with this because of the water sewer extension, and this was an understanding of, related to the water and sewer extension that we had. But when you have that in here now, that tells me we never had that as part of the requirement in the city.
And that's policy 1.5?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna have to remove this because they're gonna review they're gonna see this as being too restrictive. It's actually required by statute in a different, not in 163. This is actually required that you connect, the state requires that.
But we have people,
We didn't have it in the comp plan before.
we have people that still have septic tanks that have,
Yeah, but when you have sewer, there's a statute that requires, if sewer is available, that
yeah,
they
we
have to
never
connect.
forced that issue. We talked about it
yeah,
over the
because we
years,
do have septic tanks.
especially down in Sandy Creek area and,
Yeah, it's required with, following the water and sewer extension that we had all the way out to Allenton.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That
it's
was
outside
required,
the
but
city.
We're taking that out.
was it required in the city? That's
Yes,
what-
that actually is required by statute.
See if it's required by statute.
Not 163, not part of the comp plan, but by Florida statute. Yeah,
Okay.
different.
Water sewer service area or just inside city limits?
Yeah, it's, well, I think you, to enforce it, I don't know. You'd have to ask an attorney. I'm not sure about the enforcement part outside the city. In the city,
Inside city limits.
you can enforce it.
Well, outside the city, we
We
could,
do have some inside city limits, yeah, we do have.
we could with
septic
water
tanks.
and sewer extension
Right.
If it's
documents.
required by statute.
But you're saying that maybe we cannot,
You wanna go through?
Well, I'm just gonna have to remove this from the comp plan because of Senate Bill 180. This is already required. We just added it in here. This is required by another part.
okay, so 1.5 is gonna leave.
Maybe it's.
I'm gonna have to take it out.
Okay,
Well, I know, but he said it's required by statute.
all right.
Well, there's another, statute that addresses connecting when services are available.
Anything else on 24? 25? 26? Twenty-seven. I had a question about policy 2.6, where it says the city should adopt and implement a water conservation program. Did we do that? Do we have a water conservation program?
Well, what we did do was adopt a water supply plan, which was required later in the statute, and then has since, that used to be part of your comp plan, the water supply plan. Now it's done by reference, and the Water Management District maintains it. So the requirements are now for the water supply plan.
Okay, so,
not the conservation stuff,
so we don't have to do this.
no.
So
Okay.
I would think that's Bay County.
Yeah, and this would have been part of the 2005 that had the school concurrency. They had a lot of the stuff that was in that, changes to 163. In the 2011, all of that got repealed. And so this is part of the stuff that was repealed. And then it was replaced with a water supply plan, which the Water Management District has, and you have policies for it. Which is policy 3.1.
Anything on page 28? Nope. 29? Okay, so that's the end of,
Infrastructure.
that was the infrastructure element? Yes, so now we're up to the conservation. Oh, did anybody want to comment on that one? Yes, sir.
About the, page 25.
Well, you need to come up to the microphone. It's just like we always do.
Okay, Don, and 41 on the back. About, on 25, about recycling program, is that, we need to put Bay County in there first, or what? I mean, we don't do no here, we can't do nothing here because Bay County don't take it, right?
No, they don't.
No, they don't have it.
No, so,
It's,
leave that in there, or what?
well, it says when they become available.
Yeah, and that's,
We may have a company that wants to come in here and start recycling, and then we could actually look at doing that. Every once in a while, I'll get feelers out, like concerning cardboard. That's always a big deal, because they use it for insulation. And, you know, do you have one? Do you have anything? But, I mean, right now, it's too expensive to try to truck it, so nobody's collecting anything. But that's not to say someone might not come in here and put in something. No, nobody has said they're interested in building a recycle plant around here. I'm just,
Yeah,
You know, we tried the recycling had 4 bins,
yeah, and it was great.
and,
it works great until,
Till the county quit doing it, till the
Yeah.
hurricane, and then the county didn't pick it up again.
and now the recycle plant is gone, so.
Anything else? Did anybody else want to speak on infrastructure? Okay, we go on to conservation element on page 30. And I actually had a concerned citizen get in touch with me about some issues he had with with a couple of these conservation elements. And, he's concerned about trying to retain some of our wetlands, not fill in everything so that it can be developed. So he was just asking, why is wetland mitigation allowed? And how is the 2-to-1 mitigation ratio going to be determined? Who will make such a determination?
so wetland mitigation, the wetlands are handled, permitting and impacting wetlands are handled through the state, through the Florida Department of Environmental Protection and the Water Management District, through permitting processes. And you have a couple of policies that kind of go off into their stuff, which they regulate that, not the city.
Okay.
And so what we try to do is just make sure that it's consistent with 163, what's required. Is there a particular policy that he was concerned with?
He's actually in the audience. Would you like to, Mr. Bohack? Mr. Bohack, okay, he's,
Wilson,
did you want to elaborate to him on your concern? But I need you to come up to the microphone if you want to.
Do you have my email with you?
I do, would you like it?
I would, if you don't mind, please, ma'am, both parts.
I mean, I can't let you have a half hour, but you can take a few minutes and,
Yeah, I have policies, Paul Bohack, 7010 Mike Lane, that resolves the identity issue. Conservation element, or policy 7.5, parens 4, parens F, My question was, why is the wetland mitigation allowed? How is the 2-to-1 mitigation ratio going to be determined and/or established? And who makes such determination? Follow-up. Policy 7.7, parens 2, appropriate mitigation of destroyed or damaged seagrass beds is determined by Chapter 17-3.12, Part 3, FAC. Under what circumstances does appropriate mitigation exist? Who makes such determinations? And how is it determined that it is an appropriate mitigation?
Again, the state does it. I mean, wetland permitting is done through environmental protection and
It doesn't say.
the water management district.
I couldn't find my own answer. That's why I'm asking you.
Well, that's how, if you mitigate, you wanna impact the wetland, that's what you're gonna have to go through.
Say again?
If you wanna impact the wetland, that's what you gotta go through. That's the.
Y'all act like you're at least talking to us.
You know what I'm saying, if you impact the wetland, if you wanna impact the wetland, you have to get permits.
Right.
And the city don't issue those permits.
No.
And so we have to be careful about how we, some of the language that's in there, try not to cross the line.
Well, and that's my concern. I'm not sure the way the language is there, that it is specific enough to provide the protections that I'm looking for. That was my issue.
So should he just reference state statutes?
Pardon?
Just say per state statutes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that's how that is their ability to enforce this, is through statute.
Well,
Ray F is pretty specific at it.
I know, and some of this stuff is very, I mean, it's kind of
I mean,
over the line.
We
I
don't-
think some of it we probably should just take out.
yeah, we don't know that,
Well, we don't,
that 2-to-1 may not change.
well, no, and you don't.
That needs to come
the
out.
city's not part of it. That's the problem. The city doesn't do this.
Well, do we need to look at this and remove some of these things that are regulated by the state?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something y'all should discuss. Because some of this is really defined, of getting into the permitting, which the city does not do. I don't know where this came from or how it got in here or why. I assume it was over something, because it's very defined. It's very defined language.
So what do we need to do?
And, because you can permit down to the mean high water line or the ordinary high water line, but anything beyond that, the state and the Corps regulates it.
Don't cuss like that.
Policy 7-9, second line. You have Florida Administrative Code, you probably should just say fact there. Because you've already done it a bunch of times before.
I did catch that.
Well, back to Ed's thing, what do we plan on doing? Or do we want to continue leaving this in the language and pushing it up? Because it obviously sounds like it's gonna be more restrictive.
Well, this is already exists, but we could take it out, we could take parts of this out. That is not required, that kind of goes beyond, the cities.
Ray, you've done multiple other cities. I prefer to have recommendations from you.
Yeah, and as long, I don't know, again, I didn't want to go taking stuff out, not sure how it got here. I know that, I mean, this isn't a requirement by the state, but, and to what, limit, you wanted me to take out stuff like this, but if you do, I'll be glad to, rework these policies.
I think we need a review.
And one of the things that we can do too, so, because, the comp plan was advertised, it's for Tuesday, I believe. Now, if I can make these changes, I mean, we could continue the meeting and give you more time to look at it. on Tuesday, continue this item, I mean, that's fine with me. I'll make sure y'all have plenty of time to review whatever I change.
Yeah, that's kind of quick.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday, I would think the meeting after would be more than enough time for us to actually read and comprehend what the changes.
Let's deal with it here.
Yes.
Yes, but I mean,
I'd much rather.
after we've dealt with it and it's put together, give us a couple weeks to read it over and make sure it's everything we need it to be. There's no rush.
So instead of having the first reading be on Tuesday, that would be a discussion point, and we'd have the first reading
The
for our
next-
next meeting, 2 weeks later.
Will that cause a problem with anything since this expired, since our current one expired on December 31st? Are we in trouble because we technically have no comprehensive plan?
You still have a plan, but your plan horizon is expired. So, I mean, you're in the process of updating it.
Okay, so we're in compliance, we're okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait another year.
No.
But I mean, I definitely want to give y'all plenty of time to,
Yeah, we'll
Yeah, I
be
mean,
done by.
if we could just, finish with this, but then we could get a copy with all the changes made. And do that, not at Tuesday's meeting, but the next, because I don't think we'll have time to get changes and have it reviewed by Tuesday.
but I would just, since it was advertised, I would, if you do that, if you make that decision, is to continue the meeting
And Tuesday.
at Tuesday, to continue it to the following meeting or whatever
Yes,
meeting you
yeah,
want.
I mean, we can table it, I think, on Tuesday, we can table it to the next meeting.
Or continue the item. If you table it, it
Yeah,
has to
we
be
could go ahead and
re-advertised.
have some discussion, but then we could table it that we don't vote on it.
Exactly, and continue it.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about it then.
Just real quick, Kevin Obos is watching via video
Yes.
feed. He had another meeting, but
And what did
he
he
wanted me
say?
to be sure and explain to y'all that the comp plan is policies and goals. It's not supposed to be super specific. Would you agree to that, Ray?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, 163 defines it. Like I mentioned, the comp plan is your structure. And
Comprehensive.
then your defined stuff goes in your land development regulations. That's where your detailed stuff is. And that's how you implement the comp plans through your land development regulations. The comp plan is regulated by the state. The land development regulations are not regulated by the state, but they do have to be
Yes, 'cause we don't
consistent with the
know.
comp plan. That's why your LDRs are so much more,
That would be great if you could review
give so much
that.
more restrictive.
And defend.
Yes. Could you review this element and make a recommendation to us of what should be in it?
Yeah, for these policies, for sure.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to just delete these.
Is everybody good with that, since he does this? Because I don't want to just say, take that out, leave that in. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe just reference the water management and that's it.
That and, I'll set it up to what you have to have for these
Yes.
policies, by, what's required by statute.
That makes sense to me, what we have to have.
So is the plan to have discussion at the commission meeting?
Yes, what does everybody, how do you want to do that?
Please note, we've got 10 items,
Yes,
so it's going to be
yeah, I know we
quite a
don't.
bit.
We just-
Maybe, we could meet before.
Well, what we should do.
Now, we will have to have the item on the agenda
Right.
Yes.
so that we will
It
motion.
has to be on the
Yes.
agenda, but just
Yes.
But
the
I'm
discussion
just,
will be
I'm
at the
just
next
saying,
time.
you already see where we're at now. I'm just from the fact of the matter is there's going to be,
We're doing the
10
heavy
items.
lifting today, but we're gonna have a final document, but by next Tuesday, it wouldn't be feasible to do that, I don't think. So 2 weeks later, we'll just go ahead and mention it, yes, we've talked about it, but to
yes,
give it
y'all
justice,
are
we
going to
need
need
to
to have
2
discussion
weeks.
over the changes. So that's, when do you want to have, do you want to have another workshop?
Well, I was gonna say, we could have another workshop after we finish our review today. He gets a chance to make the changes, and then we have another workshop before we have our next commission meeting.
Tell you what we'll do, we'll try to have it next week, maybe towards the end of the week, not on Friday.
No, not on Friday.
I can tell you right now, on Fridays. Don't have me working till 8 o'clock tonight. So we'll try to do it late next week. He can get the revisions in. The meeting, we'll move it on to the next meeting, and then we'll have another workshop. So is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, so at our next commission meeting, we will need to table it, is that
Yes,
correct?
basically, that's what we'll do, we'll bring it up,
Continue.
we'll
Bring it up.
table it
A
to,
little bit of discussion and then table it.
Yeah, just
Okay.
enough to make sure everybody understands what
Yes.
we're doing.
And we'll have a workshop worked out time and everything.
Yes,
We'll try to
perfect.
get that out on Monday to everybody on open times.
Yes,
That we can have it.
that we can announce that date at the
Yeah,
meeting.
and we'll announce it
Tuesday.
at the meeting.
Just make sure that we have whatever little discussion we want to have before somebody says we'll table it. Because once we do that, you can't say it anymore.
We probably won't need a lot of discussion since we're gonna set a workshop for later in the week.
Just say, hey, we've set another workshop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can just say we've,
Commissioner, you don't have to be looking at me.
we've made some changes, so we're gonna set it up.
There are two of you over there, maybe.
Yeah,
You're zoned in.
okay, did anybody else want to say anything about the conservation element? See what you started? Anybody else about the conservation element? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, sir.
Kevin says we cannot table this. This is an open public hearing, so we will need to continue the public hearing to the following.
Okay,
Me.
well,
So
however,
terminology.
he'll be
Do
here,
not call, do not say
he'll
table.
be here, he
Yeah.
can tell us what to do.
Jeff Carnahan, 7752 Shadow Bay Drive. I'm unclear as to what the changes are that we're making to this right now. You guys up here are discussing this. I can't hear what Eddie's saying because he's not talking into the microphone. And I would like to know what the exact, actual changes are we're making to this section.
My understanding is Mr. Greer is going to review this. He's going to change it to what is required. So at this point, we don't know what the changes are going to be until he makes a recommendation to us of strictly what is required, nothing extra.
Remove the specifics.
Policy and goals.
That's what, because you
Hey,
guys
we don't
have all
know
this
either.
discussion up here, and we're back here trying to figure out, what are you talking about?
No, that's what we have asked him to do, is to review this section, since he's the expert much more than we are, so that he can make a recommendation if this is the language that would be required by statute.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think we realized y'all couldn't hear.
Okay, if nobody else has anything on that, we'll go to the coastal management element, which I think will generate some more discussion. So did anybody have anything on page 36? $37 or 38?
37, policy number 3.3. Dealing with political signs on permanent, anchored, floating structures or surface waters of Callaway are prohibited. Well,
Does that come under?
I'm gonna be specific because, I live on the water and I have docks, and during my campaigns, I posted signs out on the dock to, vote for wonderful things in Callaway, vote for me. And, I've got neighbors who may wanna post a sign for somebody else. Is this restricting us from putting signs on our docks, for example?
Yeah, which is your private property.
It's a private property.
Okay.
But it's, is it?
But the way this is worded,
And
Page
this says
37.
prohibited. Can this say prohibited, since this is a policy document, and not an LDR?
And is that more stringent
Yes,
than our
ma'am.
It's new
our
section
prior?
3.3, Ray.
So if we're doing policy and goals, I think that,
Again, this is something that doesn't have to be in here. All we're doing was trying to clean up this was in here, you can see what we struck and underlined and added, but if this is something y'all don't want, this does not have to be in there, and this is like this is something would be in the LDRs or
I was
something
about
else.
to say, this needs to be in the LDR.
And this is just, we're trying to clean up this policy some, but this policy, if you don't want it, we can definitely get rid of it.
We want to just delete that?
Well, I don't think it's been a problem, until this shows up, you know? So now it's a question, am I legal or not legal?
Just take it out.
My neighbor's legal or
Doesn't have
not
to be
legal?
there, just take it out.
Because your LDR has a sign section that deals with signs.
Yeah.
I don't know where this came from. I
You
just
can
tried
put
to
all the
clean
Trump
up. We
signs
can
you
just
want
get
on
rid
your
of it.
dog.
And it could be a violation of freedom of speech, you know, it's your property.
So does everybody agree with just take that out, take that line
Maybe your
out?
dock, but the location is on a waterway, which
Yeah.
is state-owned.
Yeah, but the dock is not state-owned.
No,
But it's over
but
the
you're
water.
on state property. And it should have been permitted through the state, so the state could rate it.
Yeah, I
Remove
have
the
my
section.
dock on
Just
state
still,
property.
just
This is
remove,
about
just remove
policy
the-
and not
just remove the
Yes,
section.
we're just removing that. So get rid of 3.3,
Man, I was gonna get you at the next one.
okay?
I'm gonna have Bonnie out in a boat.
Yeah.
Trolling your docks.
Thanks,
Telling my
okay.
code enforcement a boat.
Well, half my neighbors gonna vote against me.
Page 38, anybody?
I want them to put out signs.
I do have a question on page 37.
37, okay.
Objective 4, adopt criteria, and we've got a date on it. Remove the
Short-term
date.
land uses.
Oh, yeah.
Can we remove the date?
Yeah.
Just put these things on the do list.
I got it. I'm making notes. I got it. He gonna revise it, and staff will review it another 100 times because we missed stuff.
Anything else on 37? $38. $39. $40. This is a long element. 41 or 42.
On 41, just question why the deletion of 2.1.1 policy? Just curious.
Yeah, because it's required in a different part. It's in the coastal construction high hazard area. It's defined in another element.
Okay,
It's actually a conservation element.
all right.
And it's not needed here.
Okay, so it's in, they're just in a different place.
Okay.
42,
I got a question back on 41.
okay.
Objective 9, maintain roadway clearance time for hurricane evacuation of 17 hours for a Category 3 storm. That's super specific.
Yeah, and that is defined by the state.
That is
I mean, that's a study that is done. That is your hurricane evacuation is done by the state. Now, again, this is a policy, so 2.19, we added it. This is a requirement, but after talking to Florida Commerce, I think we're gonna have to take this out too, because this should have been in your plan before, and it wasn't. We added it in, this is a requirement, but I think it's gonna get caught in Senate Bill 180, where they're gonna say, this is more restricted than your current plan. And they're gonna.
Which
throw the
one are you
plan out
talking
over.
about?
Yeah, which,
Policy 2.1.9.
2.1.42.
Or 42.
okay.
So you're saying it needs to be removed?
Yeah, this language, this is your, for Bay County, this is your hurricane evacuation stuff. But because it's not in your current comprehensive plan, Senate Bill 180 is not gonna allow us to put this in there. I'm gonna have to remove it.
So this is gonna be removed, this is
Yeah.
policy?
this is one of those policies that I'm gonna have to remove, that we added.
Even though it's not in our
Yes.
policies, but it is the policy that we have to follow by the county.
But the one,
This is part of the hurricane evacuation that's established for the county.
the one that you asked about.
Yeah, it's actually required by statute.
$17, that stays,
Yeah, that stays.
okay.
So this is actually required by statute.
Okay.
But again, and I had this conversation with the Florida Department of Commerce on Tyndall. So City of Callaway is listed in Florida statutes as one of the cities that is adjacent to Tyndall Air Force Base and have to meet the planning requirement for military installations. And the policies that we had written for the overlay districts are something that the state promotes. And so they took 2 months to get back to me because I told them, we're updating these plans and we're implementing these overlay districts as part of these plans, but it's clearly affected by 180. And if I do it, you're gonna throw the plan out. And so after 2 months, they finally got back with me and said, yes, we don't recommend you do it.
So that's
Yeah,
why the
the way-
overlays aren't gonna be in the.
Yeah, I've got them prepared, and I'm gonna give them to the city, and then when this Senate Bill 180 stuff is gone, we can put them back on the agenda and adopt them.
Okay.
But you'll have them.
Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the overlay districts for the imaginary surface areas for Tyndall, Part 77, it's really height. There's some noise for Sky 10 and frequency zones that part of Callaway's in. Doesn't affect the whole city, but there is different parts that fall in these zones that were identified in the joint land use study. But I will bring those back at another day.
Bobby, do you know what the overlays are? No. Come see me.
I've got the maps of it,
That's something, that's something,
Oh, the joint land use study? I'm sorry,
no, the overlays.
oh, yeah. And the study too, if you want a copy, if anybody wants a copy of the Tyndall Air Force Base compatible use plan, joint land use study compatible use plan, I'd be glad to give you. I can send it to Bill and he can email it.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Actually, send it to Ashley.
Okay. Yeah, because it's
Actually,
adopted and it was
distribute
approved
these.
by the city.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else have anything? I think, what are we up to, 42, 43? Anything in this element? Anybody question? We did page 42. Anything on 43, 44, 45?
On 44, the added policy 14.3 be concluded by December
26.
26. And the question is who, what, when, where, and how.
Yeah, do we need the date in there?
Yeah, it's like the other ones. Technically, yes, but if you want to take it out, we can take them out.
You want to take it out? Take out the date?
It's either that or we're gonna have to take it up.
Yeah.
Same with objective
Site
16,
development techniques and best practices may reduce loss.
within 1 year of adoption. Do we want to restrict this?
So we're taking up December 2026? Is that the consensus?
Just take the date out.
Okay.
And then you said objective 16?
16. You have within 1 year of the adoption, it's basically another date.
Yeah, this is the required, so we didn't put a year certain, but the local mitigation strategy, you're required, which y'all have, like, you participate with the county with the.
Yes, we just did,
Yeah, every year.
we're yearly,
Yeah.
we're yearly,
So
we've got
you're
our stuff
required,
done.
I just
Oh, so
put that in.
it's okay if
Yeah.
we're already doing it, we're good.
So we're good there?
Back to the policy 14.3. Last sentence, should make be made. Practices that may reduce losses due to flooding and claims make under flood insurance.
Yeah.
It's made.
Made.
Which policy is that?
14.3.
Okay.
Last sentence.
Made under flood insurance policies.
instead of make. I missed that.
Gotcha.
You got me.
Anything else on 44 or 45? Nobody? Okay, I know we have at least one person that wants to talk about this element. Is there, before he comes up, is there anybody else that wants to talk about the coastal management element? Nobody? Okay, come on up.
Thank you. Paul Bohack, 7010 Mike Lane. Number one, policy one, I'm recommending that you revise the order and the coastal priority for siting of shoreline land uses instead of the existing order that's on page 36.
This is for the conservation.
Yeah, coastal management element.
Gotcha.
We've already moved on, yeah. And I'm saying the first one should be recreation conservation, the second one should be residential, third should be water dependent commercial, and fourth,
Where are we?
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm
Where are
lost.
you?
coastal management
Yes.
policy 1, page 36.
Okay,
Page 36.
36 or 46?
36.
36.
Okay.
Policy 1,
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
are we there yet?
You're all
We're
the way back.
there.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
an
we're
hour
trying to
ago.
figure out where it's at.
Okay, there is a listing referencing the priority for siting of shoreline land uses.
It's on page 37.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry,
that's right.
Are you there?
apologize. Page 37.
Okay, now. Wait,
No, I'm looking at the memo.
yeah, that's what he sent, that's the email he sent me.
Yep,
So, yes.
and I am recommending realignment of those priorities. Recreation conservation, number 1. Number 2, residential. Number 3, water dependent commercial. Number 4, water related commercial industrial. Number 2, policy 4.
Wait.
No, we gotta talk about this one.
Let's go one at a time.
Well, I only got
Well,
minutes and I got.
We're
50
being
minutes.
lenient,
Hey,
so,
you've got good points.
that's
You get to
right.
keep talking. You
Okay.
get a
That's
bonus
right,
minute.
so,
So do you want me to stop the?
yeah, just
Yeah.
stop that. So, I mean, unless, how would you rather do it? It
No,
makes
that's
sense
fine.
to me to address it one by one.
No, yeah, because I need the whole right to.
Yeah, so,
Is there any rhyme or reason for the order that
No,
it's in?
they said that's how it was in the plan
Okay.
before.
is everybody good with changing it? Does it make a difference?
I'm not sure where we're changing here.
It's at the bottom.
I'm not there yet.
Seven.
No. Oh, down here, okay.
That number 1.
And policy 4,
Residential
dot
number
1.
2.
Yeah.
Water
Water
independent.
dependent 3. And then commercial industrial number 4. That's the priority.
So they're given commercial priority
Oh,
over
okay.
residential.
No, he's saying recreation and then residential.
Yes,
Those
ma'am,
are-
but
Yeah,
right
so
now
those would be,
it shows
the two,
commercial over
yes.
residential.
So what order are you recommending?
Recreation conservation as number 1.
All right.
Number 2, residential. Number 3, water dependent.
And there's not enough waterfront property to go with water-dependent commercial. There really isn't. That's my point.
Do we have any?
See? See, that's exactly right.
No,
Okay,
we have none.
my second point, policy number 4.
And before you go on, so residential conservation first?
Conservation.
Recreation
recreation.
conservation
First,
residential second,
okay.
then go water dependent commercial,
Number 4,
as water-related commercial industrial.
Okay,
You need to find out if anybody wants to.
okay.
Yes, that's what I've been asking. Do people want to make that change?
I don't care, doesn't matter to me.
Sounds good to me.
I don't really care
Yeah.
what sequence
Okay.
it's in.
Yeah, that's,
Well, it's just a priority list.
yes.
So basically, the new list is 4, 2, 3, 1.
Yeah, something like
No,
that.
we'll
three, two,
switch
four,
around.
3241 is what the order they would be.
Oh, you want the, okay, yes.
Because
Sorry.
water independent commercial would be 3, water related commercial industrial would be 4.
So
Yes,
it's-
ma'am.
It's
Got it.
4, 2, 1, 3.
No.
Yeah.
3, 2, 4, 1.
I got 3, 2, 4, 1 also.
3, 2, 4, 1.
Yeah, I was talking about in order of what he wanted. Y'all was looking
Okay.
at his priority, I was looking at the existing priority.
Okay, so
He just
do you
missed
have it?
3, 2, 4, 1.
Do you have it, Mr. Greer?
I have 4, 2, 1, 3. It sounds like everybody in the world's got something different.
3, 2, 4, 1.
3241.
Okay, he's talking about his existing list, because he's saying exactly what I said. The existing list, the first priority is gonna be number 4, the second priority is number 2, the third priority is gonna be number 1.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the fourth is number
The fourth
3.
is gonna be number 2.
That's
That's what you do. You don't
3, 2,
renumber,
4,
you
1.
renumber what we,
Okay.
yeah, me and you on the same page.
Okay, okay. Now, Mr. Bohat, go on to your next.
The second item is policy 4, which references new, expanded, or redeveloped marinas
And what is that?
shall,
Just a minute.
Uh-huh. It's 38.
I'm sorry, I didn't write the pages down,
Here, 4.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
4.4.
shall, parens 3, lie outside areas identified as inappropriate for marine development unless mitigating actions are taken, recreating disturbed wetlands, seagrass beds, oyster reefs, other marine nursery areas, or habitats on at least a 1-to-1 basis. My questions: who or what defines the mitigating actions to be taken? Who and how does one measure such mitigating action to ensure at least a 1-to-1 basis? Why use a 1-to-1 and not a 2-to-1 basis, such as is referenced for wetland mitigation? Those are my questions.
Okay, Mr. Greer, can you address that?
Yeah, and this is some of those other policies that were left, that was in there,
Well,
and this is some of the stuff of,
And it is state
We can-
area, it's not.
there, some of it is, some of it's not. Some of this also goes into it goes off to the deep end on the language, which is not required, and I'll be glad to change it.
So just like the conservation, can you give us some
Okay.
recommendations to
Yeah.
review? But
Yeah, I mean, basically, we can take out, some of the stuff that is not required, that you're not required.
yes, if you could, if everybody's good with it, do the same as you did on the other conservation and make a recommendation to us. I'm sure there are some other points, aren't there?
I do. Objective 8, here's my statement. Objective 8 lacks focus. And you can read it. Here's my issue. Why not state that the city of Callaway will identify its concerns regarding recreation and water access to appropriate federal, state, and local government agencies and seek joint planning efforts to achieve the city's stated objective? Because there is a stated objective of which the this is the target.
Now, you said objective 8?
Yep.
Page 41.
Page 41.
Pardon?
Page 41. You're good. I just
Okay.
need to find it.
Page
Thank you.
39.
That's
41.
41?
Yes, sir.
Former teacher.
41 from the top.
It's on page 41. Commissioner Ayers found it.
Fourth one down.
Yeah. And then directly related to that is policy 8.1. I say it lacks clarity. Why not state that the city of Callaway will coordinate efforts to implement planned activities with federal, state, and local government agencies as part of the city's efforts to achieve its stated objective. It's the verbiage I have a problem with. 8 and 8.1, they are too similar. They do not establish enough separation to define themselves independently. You may disagree, but those are my points.
Okay.
So another area that Mr. Greer can look at for us, make a recommendation.
Yeah,
Give him your sheet.
thank you.
Give him your
Yeah.
sheet.
Yes, give him your, do you have your recommendations that you can give him that he can,
This is all of them for,
Yeah,
yeah, because.
well, just in this section, you want the earlier section?
Yeah, I can get you my email too. I mean, you can email it to me or however you want to do it.
Well, the last time we had to deal with these subjects that Paul is bringing up is Bridge Harbor.
Thank you.
with the marina?
And we went to the state, I actually went to the state, 2 meetings with the state, and we just kind of got shot down on the state backing us on any of that, and actually kicked back to our local recommendations, didn't it, Bill? As to how we handle a marina.
Bridge Harbor. Which they never did.
No, they never
No,
did.
it was approved because it's DEP that approves it, isn't it? Because
They approved it, and actually, they ended up paying for that, because they have to get the rights from the state for the marina. But they never did go any further with it. They actually kicked it into what we could deal with as far as the gas and the lighting and all the other. But they gave us no other support as related to the wetlands and that kind of thing. So they just, I remember all 4 of them, including the
I guarantee you they'll be involved if you touch wetlands around.
yeah, yeah. I don't think Bridge Harbor's gonna go through with that, even though they have the
no,
marina
I don't think so.
portion out there, but.
Yeah, being on
And-
that side of the bay, it's real shallow, so there has to.
And also, I think, Ray, you confirmed this, that they had 5 years in order to do something, if I recall.
Under the permit.
And they did not do anything, so now it would have to be kicked back to the state to even get the rights to build a marina there.
They're sold out, they ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
they're done.
are we ready to go on to the next one?
I will make a comment that, I guess it was about a year and a half ago, there was talk that they were trying to sell that rights to a company that builds marinas. They were repping it out to several different ones. And
They're
I was
right
just
at the 5-year point right now, right?
They're probably
Oh,
past it.
they're well beyond the
Yeah, they're way past
Yeah.
it. But Bridge Harbor wouldn't develop the marina, or they wouldn't, they would sell the rights to
Okay.
somebody that would come in and build the marina.
Well, I'll point out to anybody that may be listening that's thinking about building a marina there, we also know from what we learned is how we can fight it again, and we will fight it aggressively again on other grounds, so
I think the
as long as I'm on board here.
I think the decision was it was not viable.
It really isn't on that side. The other side would be where it's deep water, but this side that they're on, they have the dredge. So,
But I haven't heard anything since
Okay.
that quick conversation.
Now, Osprey Inlet, with the original Osprey Inlet, they were gonna be putting docks in there, but then they decided to go out into the bayou,
yeah,
and that's what created all the issues.
gotcha.
Okay. Okay, let's go on to intergovernmental coordination element, page 46. Anybody have anything on 46? (47) or 48?
Yep.
49? 50? 51 or 52? Sounds like nobody has anything on this element. Everybody good?
Good.
2.7, it talks about potable water.
I'm sorry,
Is that
what,
something you need to educate me on?
where is it?
2.7 policy, page 47. The city will provide potable water and sanitary sewer facilities within the urban service area defined in ordinance 991, signed September 11th, 2018. Are we capable of providing potable water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I'm just, something you can educate me on later.
Anything else?
Potable just means drinkable.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, I understand what it is.
Yeah.
We had to do it in the Air Force all the
Yeah,
time.
we have, and we have our utility service area.
And Bob, you actually had to do that for the other units.
Okay, if nobody else has anything on intergovernmental coordination element, does anybody in the audience have any comments on this? Not seeing anybody, we will go on to capital improvements element. Page 53, 54. $55, $56, $57, $58, $59,
If you do it real fast, you could do it like an auctioneer.
That's right, going once, going twice. Okay. We're up to 62. Did I lose something? 60,
Yeah, you're almost.
61 or 62? Anything?
10 pages behind you.
Anything? Anybody in that element? Nobody? Anybody in the audience on capital improvements element? Not seeing anybody. We will go on to,
Mayor,
Yes, yes, sir.
Don Henning, 431 Tiny Pass. How about on page 53? The road things, we need to change those road things or not? Like 7th Street, Footways Road, and Highway 22.
You know, I was wondering if we needed to add Wallace.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a true straight through pass. The only other north and south road would be maybe South Gay,
Yeah.
because it goes straight through.
I saw a huge truck on Wallace today with big
I
pipes
don't know
on
if I
it.
change those or not.
I'm like, man, that's gonna tear that road up.
I mean, because those are gonna be our major,
So add Wallace.
do we need to add Wallace? Wallace, add Wallace.
Yeah, sure.
Anything else?
What about South Gay for north and south? Because our north and south is what kills us.
So are these roads staying though, or the
Yeah, the
existing
ones
ones
that are
would
there
stay?
are our major thoroughfares. We would just need to add Wallace Road.
Okay.
Doug, do you want to add South County?
I'd add Gay too. Since they were cutting through on Gay.
What?
Star Avenue's not ours.
Yeah, they do have to be, it's where you're implementing
Yeah,
concurrency.
does it matter? Does it have to be city roads?
Is that one part of Star ours? Right at Cherry Street?
We own none
None
of,
of that?
we own none of Star Avenue. Star Avenue's not our road, so.
Right.
Ray, should that be listed since it's not even our road?
Well, what about Old Bicycle? Only part of Old Bicycle is ours, right?
Yeah.
Portion of it is.
Very small portion.
Yeah.
Nintendo Parkway's
If you're gonna do
not
that, might as
ours,
well
that's
start
a
listening.
federal.
So are we okay to leave Star, even though it's not ours?
I don't think we should be in there. It doesn't,
Well-
it's not our road.
It says within the city.
So this is monitoring, so when this was originally done, you had proportionate fair share mitigation, where you pay based on the impact. Now you have transportation impact fees. So you pay by the trip that then go to improvements. So, I mean, this really shouldn't even, we should probably take out concurrency. And you would monitor them for traffic impacts, but you wouldn't be doing concurrent, you wouldn't be doing proportionate fair share on them. Because you do impact fees for proportionate fair share now.
Then they should be removed.
And we can remove these, or, yeah, we could just remove them.
So that would be SR 22, Highway 98, and Star?
No, all of them.
All of, just
And
one.
you could just remove all of them because you don't have traffic concurrency in proportionate fair share, you have
Once again, we're painting,
impact fees.
we're painting with a fine paintbrush when we need to be doing broad-based strokes.
Well, no, and this was required back when you had
So get rid of 1.1.3.
transportation concurrency.
No, just the list.
Oh, just the
list.
Because it would just say,
Well, but it's still talking about concurrency, which we don't do.
Well, yeah, I would just take off.
Take the whole thing out.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could just take the whole thing out. You're still requiring, you still have to monitor the roads. You still have to evaluate developments and what their impacts are, even on state roads, city roads, inside your jurisdiction that are impacted.
why don't we just put it as in, within our jurisdiction? Rewrite it.
Yeah, and that's, yeah, I could just rewrite it, because it's,
He'll rewrite it to take out specific roads and it'll just be within our jurisdiction.
Right.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay. Page 54, anything? '55 or '56?
Yeah, I think we went
You're already done, man.
We deleted
Yeah,
that.
we did.
That whole
we
section's
did.
been deleted.
Yes.
So
And
we're
then
down.
somebody backed us up.
Call, Don.
That's right. Yeah,
Thanks, Don. Good.
yes, he did. Okay, did anybody else want to comment on that element? Okay, now I don't know, we really don't need to go through the public school facilities element since that's been deleted and replaced with our phantom interlocal agreement, so.
I do have a question
Yes,
about that.
good, you come on up.
Teresa Langston, 6031 Lamb Street. I've been doing some reading, imagine that. I was looking at the Washington County comprehensive plan that you did, and within that plan, it did reference the interlocal agreement with the school board, but wouldn't that be something that we would need to put in our comprehensive plan? I mean, it was included in someone else's, but I don't see where it's really included a lot in here stating that, you know what I'm saying, within the comprehensive plan. So I just figured, instead of removing everything and then we don't have anything in there, then maybe we should reference the interlocal agreement that might one day be in effect with Callaway.
So in fact, you're saying keep the element of public school facilities, but below it it's going to say reference this phantom
Yes, because it's been
form.
referenced in other comprehensive plans, the
Yep.
other one that he did with the
And it might only be a paragraph, but it's there to say, here's where you can find the information.
So, the interlocal agreement, those requirements are in chapter 163, and they're in, the requirements of them are in the comp plan, those requirements that meet them. They weren't, they're in different parts of the comp plan, referenced through a couple of policies. The whole element itself is no longer required. But if you retain the element, 163 specifies, you're gonna have to do some different stuff to retain the school element. So it's not as simple as leaving it in. Right now, the interlocal agreement, the way it's required by statute, those policies are in there. I still don't know how you don't have one. I almost think it's impossible because your school element was found in compliance, which required that interlocal agreement. So,
Well, once we locate it, should it be referenced in here?
well, yeah, it's it's in here,
It's referenced.
Okay,
There's all kinds
the
of school
requirements are in
things.
there. Yeah, the school, and that's what's required
okay.
in the portion of the statute that deals with interlocal agreement. That's what they left when they did away with school concurrency. When they struck that element, they left all the interlocal agreement requirements. It requires the same thing. It requires you to coordinate with the school board on development, you to coordinate on impacts. It requires the same stuff. They just did it a different way, which school concurrency in 2005, when it was put into the comp plan, it required developers to pay the concurrency and the school board, and there was a lot of backlash throughout the state for it, and it resulted in them taking it out, but leaving the school requirements in there, and through the interlocal agreement. And that's all part of 163.
Okay, so as long as we've got what's required,
So we can take out all this.
The element,
Just take the
you can
whole
take the element out. But, we have to keep the parts, and that's why they're in different parts of the comp plan, that references the portion of dealing with the requirements of the interlocal agreement. And there's policies in there that's associated with it.
okay, so everybody good with that? We can go on to the
Yeah.
private property rights element.
Well, got a question. This concerns charter school. We have one piece of property that, in Callaway, that is owned by a charter school, even though they haven't built, and that's right down the road here.
Right.
And that's the only, now, do we have anything to do with that? Who manages that particular school? Is this all county or,
I think they're still under Bay District Schools, aren't they?
No, they don't
No.
fall under Bay District, no. They're not
No.
funded by Bay District.
so that's the reason I'm bringing it up. Is this something
they're
that
self-funded
Callaway has to
by
be
the-
involved in?
I think they may manage their money.
Right.
If they do anything with that property. But right now, it's just owned by them.
That's a good question. Maybe we should talk to Superintendent McQueen, see what he has to say, because he'll have a lot more information on that.
Isn't there somebody else you were,
It's a long time ago, I can't
Yeah.
remember.
yeah.
Just real quick update. Kevin says that their firm has represented Bay District Schools since 1978. So they're gonna see if they can find a copy of that interlocal. Most likely, they would be the ones that would have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wonderful.
Everybody understand?
Yes.
I've emailed their records department too. So
Okay.
we'll get it from all angles.
Which records department? Bay
The
School?
Bay District schools.
Okay.
Okay, somebody should be able to.
Well, we're hitting it from every angle.
That's what I said, we're gonna hit it from all angles. Somebody's gotta find something.
And you can try to find out about the school question that he has.
Understand.
Don't quite understand the question.
I know, just,
No disrespect, I don't understand the question.
It doesn't have to be in here.
no, I don't,
Because
no.
Okay. All right. Well,
And
withdraw
we have
the
no
question.
control over that.
Okay.
They own the land,
That's right.
and we have no control over it. They're, I think they're funded by school attendance,
Yeah,
and I would
So do
imagine
we have
it's
to have
probably.
an agreement with the charter schools too?
No, you just have to have the agreement with the school board for their local, that meets the requirements of chapter 163,
Okay.
which is the original agreement that you.
okay,
Thank you.
Question answered.
okay. So, private property rights element, page 75. Looks like nothing changed there.
No, and if y'all are wondering what that crazy little element is, that's another thing that happened in, I think 22 or 23. They got passed, somebody sponsored this and wanted this in the comp plan, and basically what they did, they required, and this is not much of an element, of course, they required this language, and they forced it into 163 and also put in there, if you did not, the local governments, if they did not adopt this within a year, they could not amend their plan anymore until it was adopted. So it forced everybody to adopt these. And, of course, we adopted this in 22 or 23, after it came out, this element. That's why it's the funny little element.
Okay.
Real quick, I'm sorry to keep digressing, but I'm getting information from Kevin. And he just said, once a charter is approved by Bay District, they get a ton of statutory exemptions.
Right.
So to answer Greg's, there is not a lot we can do with charter schools.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
I keep putting TY, so he knows I got it.
Okay. Anybody have any comment on page 75? I think. Does anybody in the audience want to comment on page 75? And do we need to discuss at all the future land use maps? Or,
So all your maps were updated, received your, Bay County does your future land use map amendments, and so we acquired their data and prepared the future land use map,
okay,
consistent with, it's their geography, and then just updated the rest of the maps.
and we've already touched on the data analysis.
Yeah, there's not much we can do about that.
Nope, it is what it is. So, that,
And, to Mr. Griggs' point, I do believe that, the population, I think it is something that needs to be followed and
Yes.
updated, because City of Callaway, for one, I agree, their numbers are not right, and they're not right for a lot of the cities, they're not right for the county. They're way under, you've seen it, like you said, through water connections, you can see the growth occurring that is not captured in the data that we have, and I think that it's something, in the next couple of years, we need to utilize, and once we get enough data behind us, we can project it forward, utilizing just the state revenue sharing data from Beaver that comes out every April. But I don't have enough from that to project it forward today.
It almost makes you wonder if a special census would be worth it.
Oh, it should be. It absolutely would be. Especially for
I'll
the hurricane
bring that
area.
up the next time
You
I
have-
get, when I get with the group.
yeah, do that.
We could
See
bring this
how
up,
other
because I
cities
know
do
the
it.
county's looked into it, so I can check with Bob.
I know
Bob Micah, the
it's
county manager.
expensive, because
It's very
that's something
expensive.
way back after the hurricane, when it was time for the census, when we had that group where the mayors and all got together. And that was a big topic of discussion, but they said it was very expensive.
So
to do
I will tell you that when I was in Arkansas, we did a special census because we had such massive population growth. And we figured, we would get increased revenue. What we found in the end was we did the special census. It was kind of I don't remember how it all went down, but we did the special census. It was very expensive, and by the end of when they did the next census, we had received enough revenue to match what it cost to do the special census.
Well, that's good,
So broke
We
even.
broke even, barely.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at the school data from school year 19, 20, you clearly see it. You look at 18, 19, 20, you clearly see it. You look at it today and look at how much has changed in school population. It's way beyond back prior to what it was before the hurricane and more today. So it shows you, what happened. People left and now they're back. And then with Tyndall rebuild, absolutely, over the next, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years, however it takes them to keep bringing people back. You see the Tyndall Parkway, you see with Tyndall Air Force Base gets off, you see the traffic, they keep bringing more and more people back, but it's only more to come as they keep rebuilding. And that's gonna continue to grow. Callaway, Panama City, unincorporated Bay County, those areas are continuing to grow.
And
Just associated with it.
and the mass exodus from the north
Yes.
Yes.
that are coming in.
Yep, definitely have seen that, have seen a lot. It's really, like the city of Port St. Joe, it's unbelievable. If you look at their data, how many people are there now, just their demographic data has completely changed in the last, 5 years.
Even in FSU today, Water Sounds advertising in New York City. Come on down.
Yep,
So,
to get people to come down here.
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, sorry.
Me either. Keep your politics
Keep
on.
them at Watertown.
Well, that's over on that side.
Well, for years, we used to consider South Florida a northern suburb.
Yeah, southern.
But I
Alabama.
think the northern suburbs have moved further north,
Well, I think it
and
got full.
and we're
of-
becoming part of that as well.
The state's filling up, that's,
Yeah.
okay. Before we go, did anybody have anything that didn't come up about this?
Pretty thorough.
I think so, but I just wanted to make sure everybody had an opportunity. Same thing with the audience, did anybody have any comment on anything in this?
I just have one comment.
Okay,
It's Langston, 6031 Lamb Street. I just want to confirm that we're going to be renumbering the numbers because it's clear, based on the confusion throughout the discussions, that we clearly cannot follow or keep up with the numbers the way that they are numbered. And I think it's a great idea, and I just want to confirm that we are going to renumber them to where it's easier
Yes.
for people to understand.
yes,
Good luck.
yeah, I think
Yes,
it's,
we'll renumber each of them.
I think it's confusing too right now because the numbers, you're adding something here and crossing out something here, so it's hard to tell what the actual number
Let me ask you
is.
this, when he makes his recommendations, do y'all want a red line?
Yes, that'll have to
Like
be
this?
redlined.
Yeah.
It'll have to be like this, because it has to
Yeah.
go to state like this.
Well, no, I didn't know if they wanted one with track changes and one without. Where they
Yeah, for
could
this
see
one,
how
with the
it reads,
changes, the
Where
next
they can
one
see
without.
how it actually reads, but just asking.
Yeah, we don't need to take it, you talking about just on the changes based on from today? Or I can separate them if you want. It's too hard to, it's gonna be, it'd be,
In
it
other
can't be
words, you want-
pointless.
You want to keep the red line?
I have to keep the red line, because it has to go to the state that way.
Oh, it has to go to the state red line?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they require
Thank you.
that.
All right, that's, I
Yeah,
didn't understand.
keep the red line there.
I can pull the ones we change and keep them, they'll be in the overall document, but I can pull them out separate so you can quickly see that, and then the overall document will have them all in there too.
Good idea.
Well, we made notes prior to this, and we made notes during this meeting, and actually, I'm not gonna go through all 90-something pages again. I'm gonna go to where
And
those
I'll pull those
changes
out.
are, those notes. So,
Yeah, and I can pull them out for you, so you'll have them on, separate sheet, and then you can find them straight in the plan.
Thank you.
Did you want to say something? Yeah, come on up. I did see you raise your hand.
Thank you for Commissioner Birdsell for asking this to be renumbered. I think that was a great idea. But I'm also requesting you that you do not shorten any words to any acronyms, to keep that ease of reading for the citizens. Citizens look up one word, they want to see every page or paragraph that has that word, rather than one word here, an acronym there. Keep it consistent with the name so that citizens understand and know exactly what they're reading.
So basically, no acronyms at all? That's okay with me. I mean,
I think there'll still have to be some acronyms, like on the I don't remember the page, but where
On
the
the charts.
the charts were, because they're not gonna be able to spell all that. But we'll need an acronym sheet to say,
yeah,
Or
they're definitely,
acronym sheet at the beginning, an acronym.
Yeah, see, that's what I
That's
think
what
would
we
be
asked
good,
for.
that
And that is
there's a
what we did
list of
ask
all
for.
the acronyms so that somebody can go back and reference if they don't know what it.
Okay, I didn't catch that, okay.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful if there's an acronym sheet.
yeah. Just put it in the table of
Yeah,
contents.
right behind the table of
Yes,
contents.
ma'am. Make it one of the I's.
Yeah. Anything else?
You're over there smiling, and he knows with the TPO, we have about 3 pages of nothing but acronyms.
This one should be fairly short. I only saw maybe 50.
Guys,
military has the most.
I want to thank the commission for a great meeting, great direction. And you guys in the
Right.
audience, we know
Yeah.
y'all are always so verbal. And I don't think anybody brought up anything that was not,
No,
you know,
it was-
legible and important.
it was good
Thank you, Mr. Bohack,
suggestions.
always. I know you probably didn't read half of it, but you read the conservation stuff.
I read all of it, but those were the two sections that
that's-
mattered the
That's his
most.
sections.
Ray, appreciate it.
Yes.
You've answered you cleared up a lot of things. And
Yep.
You had to know your
cleared
stuff.
up everything.
Yeah, good job.
Well, I mean, there's a rhyme and reason why we do this. But a lot of people, I mean, they don't understand.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 30 years.
So when do you expect we'll have the next version?
Next year.
No, I
I should have it back to you
This
by next week.
so
The
we'll-
numbering will just take a little time to go through
Now,
and get
I mean,
that back right.
what we're saying is we're gonna push this thing off.
Continue it.
We're gonna continue it on Tuesday,
Not
but, but they need to, they're gonna need the document to
Yes.
review before our workshop.
Yes.
So I'll need to know, you
Yeah.
can think about it and let me know, but I need to know when we're gonna be able to have it, because
Yeah.
I need to get it distributed and give them ample time to go
Exactly.
through it.
so the week of the 19th sometime?
Yeah, I think y'all should give yourself
Well, I
enough
think
time.
we're gonna try to have
go
a
back to it.
workshop the end of next week.
Right, and I don't know that if he's gonna get it by the end of
Yeah,
next week, that's why.
I know. That's why.
That's the question.
Maybe you continue it, I get you the document back, next week. It could be towards the end of next week.
Then we'll have to have the meeting the following.
Yeah, do a workshop, maybe
Yeah.
let you get time to look at it, do a workshop the following week.
We're gonna do the week before the next meeting. We'll have
Yeah.
another workshop.
Like we're doing now,
Okay,
yeah.
just not Friday.
That way you have plenty of time to look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna, I mean, I could miss something, so please let me know.
Yeah, we'll go through it real quick.
Yeah, the coordinate
So
ones, we should
does-
have it.
So we'll get the document out to everybody, and so y'all can be able to review it by the end of next week. And then we'll have a workshop the following week. Everybody got it? We good on that?
Well, I'm just looking at my calendar, on the 22nd, we've got something that, and on the 23rd, we've got something.
Well, the 23rd's in the evening, yeah.
We ain't
but
doing the
that's-
23rd, because that's Friday.
That's the
I'm-
usual dinner.
Well, what today is Friday,
The 22nd, that, you've got the shipyard,
right, at 3
Lake
o'clock.
Healing. So we could do the 21st,
That's a Wednesday.
that's a
I'll have
Wednesday.
to see if I'm available, but we want to do the afternoon or the evening. I know Wednesday evening's not
And
good.
we got.
Yeah, Wednesday
we've got-
evening's not good.
Yeah, I just won't be here, but that,
And
No,
Tuesday,
no, Wednesday evening is not good for me.
could we do?
So we could do Tuesday.
What date is Tuesday?
Tuesday's the 20th.
20th.
That'd give y'all the weekend
Yeah.
in a couple of days.
Yes, I'd like to have the weekend.
Because that Monday is federal holiday.
That's right, the 19th,
Right.
Martin Luther King. The
Oh,
19th is
that ain't on my
holiday, so
calendar.
we'd have to do,
I
of course,
just
we
tell
can do
you how
it
to
on
work.
a holiday, but you may not.
No, do not do that to my
I was
staff.
gonna say, y'all not gonna come up
We don't
here.
get enough holidays, we work on right now. We could do it Tuesday, and I mean,
Tuesday the
Tuesday the 20th is good, and we can do it in the morning if y'all wanna do it in the morning.
6 a.m.?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I sure do it at 6 a.m.
I send most of my emails about 4 a.m.
6 a.m. with Ray.
What time, the 20th?
Do y'all wanna do morning, or do y'all wanna do evening?
I don't care, y'all set a time.
Afternoons are better for me, or evenings, but no one wants to do it in the
Can we
evenings.
do a 1 o'clock?
I can make that work.
Tuesday the 20th.
I'm
at
good
9
for
o'clock.
any-
Tuesday the
Anytime you
20th
say.
at 1 o'clock, Ashley.
I think I can do that.
Does anybody have an objection? I'm taking audience participation too. Y'all made a lot of changes, y'all need to be involved.
Yep,
You said 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Tuesday the 20th at 1 o'clock.
Well, I have a motorcycle event that's gonna take me out of town from the 18th to the 21st.
Well, you better review it and get your comments in.
If
Yes.
you want some peace and quiet in here, schedule it over that time period.
Done. Mr. Bohack, you are never a problem. You actually bring reason, so,
Yes.
but if, review the document and you can get your questions to the mayor or me,
Yeah.
and we'll make sure that they're incorporated.
Well, if you'll email
I'll
it,
do my
it'd be nice to have a printed copy, but if you'll also email it to me, I'll email it to him.
Okay.
That's
Well,
how he got the last.
We'll email y'all one, and if you want one, just let us know, we'll put it in your box. Or do y'all want us to go ahead and just print one and put it
I
in your
want
box?
to print it, I would like it printed.
I want it printed.
I can't review
Okay,
it
so
on,
just print them, put them in a box.
yeah. But email it.
Then I'll
to me.
review it on the computer.
Well, that's.
Then I can put my notes on the printed.
Exactly, but I can't review on the computer, I have to have paper. I'm old. Anything else on this? Looks like not.
I do
Did
it
you
on the
already send
computer
that
so I can blow it up or
Did you
I
already
can
send
read
that?
it.
Ashley's already sent the invites out, just so y'all know.
Okay.
1 p.m. on the 20th.
All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second.